Ciryl Gane had a lot of momentum in 2022 as he seemed like he was the most complete heavyweight in the world at that time. He got the speed, size, cardio, unbelievable footwork, his stance switches, strikes from all angle. He was just unpredictable. I was beyond excited for this guy. He was such a breath of fresh air to see at the heavyweight division, since usually we see overweight and giant heavyweights rely on their power, but this dude was more skilled and technical to win. Now fast forward to today, and Ciryl Gane has lost a lot of respect from the fans. You see, Tom Aspinall and Curtis Blades have both stated that Ciryl ducked them, and Ciryl wants to have an easy stylistic matchup because his wrestling isn't that good. He had a chance to fight Tom Aspinall for the interim heavyweight title, but chose to do a movie in France instead. He was even invited to train with Khabib in Dagestan, but he even declined that, preferring to stay with his camp. I don't know, man. It feels like Ciryl Gane has lost his drive, man. He's not the contender who used to fight anyone they put in front of him anymore. Now he wants to cherry pick his opponents and go straight for the belt. And that's crazy because Ciryl Gane has already had 2 title shots. One against Francis Ngannou and once against Jon Jones. He lost both of them, and in that fight with Jones, he got steamrolled in less than a round. It's funny that he thinks that he can skip the line without fighting anyone in the division. That's just unrealistic, man. And I think it's crazy because in an interview with Ariel Helwani, Ciryl Gane said, "I risk so much already fighting once against Spivak," as if he thinks that he should get another title shot right away. He is delusional, but I kinda get why he probably thinks like this. I mean, look at Ciryl Gane's cycle. He's been in a cycle if you guys haven't noticed. He gets beaten in a title fight, waits a year, beats a lower ranked opponent, and then gets another title shot, gets folded again, and then he beats another fat heavyweight, and now he expects another title shot. And Ciryl Gane, my guy, that's not how it works, man. But in the same time, I will say this. The UFC has really set a terrible example by giving consistent title shots to Colby Covington, a guy who beat older fighters coming out of multiple losses. And this dude obviously sits for a year and then gets granted a title shot. And I would not be surprised at all if Gane probably took some notes and thinks he can play the same game. But even then, he ducked actual rank competitions, and I just don't personally respect that. And look, I know what you're gonna say. I'm aware that he has a fight booked now. The dude has a fight booked against Alexander Volkov in a rematch, if you didn't know. He already beat Volkov once and seems to feel comfortable fighting him again rather than anyone else in the top 5. He chose not to fight Jelton Almeida, which I kind of get since he's a stylistic nightmare, but he could have fought Marcin Tybura. But I guess it makes sense since Volkov has a lot of momentum right now. He just beat Sergey Pavlovich, and at the moment, Volkov is ranked number 3. And if Ciryl Gane wins, this will be insane because this would be his 3rd title fight to date, by the way. And this is no disrespect for Volkov, but I think he's going to lose again. It might be close, but Gane is too fast and technical, and it's pretty much going to be a point fight, so it's pretty much going to go back and forth, and it's ultimately going to end up with Ciryl Gane probably winning again, if you ask me. Then Gane is eventually going to get his 3rd title fight, probably against Tom Aspinall, ironically, and it will not surprise me if he gets folded again in less than a round for another championship fight. And this is the thing, man. This is my main problem with Ciryl Gane and why a lot of majority of MMA fans have turned his back on him. I feel like Ciryl Gane doesn't really care about this MMA career as much as we think, mainly because I feel like the dude is a huge star in France. I mean, after all, he's doing movies and magazines and he's playing FIFA on the couch. And I don't know, man, when I look at all that, it doesn't really seem like a guy who really cares about improving when it comes to MMA. I mean, Ciryl Gane's grappling defense has always been the problem. We don't know if he's improved or not. And I mean, in his last fight, we didn't really see anything different. Obviously, Spivak was a grappler, and he's too flobby and too slow to touch Ciryl Gane, but he still had the wrestling advantage. But that is the main problem of Ciryl Gane, because regardless what you think, if that Jon Jones fight was rigged or not, he got steamrolled. Same thing with the Francis Ngannou fight. He got picked up and thrown. I'm convinced this guy doesn't even work on improving his grappling. We've never seen Gane stuff a takedown or get back up in his career. Another reason why I also don't believe that he doesn't really care about his MMA career too much is mainly because Khabib offered Gane to come to Dagestan to improve in his grappling and his wrestling. I think he said come to Dagestan for like what, 6 months or a year, but Gane passed. Can you believe that, man? That's freaking crazy in my opinion. The dude doesn't really care about his career too much. That's what it seems like to me. And that's the main reason why I actually don't ever think he'll be a champion. He'd rather stay in at his home gym, which is the MMA Factory, and never improve because he's too lazy. I mean, Francis was there and he was hungry. So he actually went out of his way to go to multiple different gyms, learn how to improve as a fighter. I mean, this is the same guy who didn't know how to wrestle. Remember when he fought Stipe and got like beat up for 5 rounds? And then years later, once the rematch came again, and then he came back with wrestling defense. That is evolution. That is somebody who cares about improving. And look, man, I still like Ciryl Gane. I'm just a bit annoyed. I guess because he doesn't want to be the best, he doesn't care. So I guess it got to the point where, why should I care? And I feel like a bunch of MMA fans are also frustrated with him. The dude just wants an easy pass for the title, just for him to get steamrolled again, because he doesn't care about getting better as an MMA fighter overall. It's kind of frustrating, but believe it or not, I don't really hate the guy. I just want to see him improve. I'm just annoyed. But yeah, I wanted to make something different today, so this video is pretty much a hot take, but it's pretty much how I feel, and I feel like a lot of MMA fans feel the same way. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys did, please leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like always, guys, I'll see you guys on my next one.